As the narrator for this video, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Becky Jensen, and I have worked for the SDSU Extension system since 2003. My background is as a registered dietitian with a master's degree in nutrition. I'm excited to be sharing some insights in how KidQuest works with this training video. This video is a training supplement to accompany the detailed instructions provided in the KidQuest Leaders Guide. South Dakota State University Extension began working on the KidQuest program in 2004 after identifying a need to specifically address educational efforts in the preadolescent or 9 to 12-year-old age group, otherwise referred to as tweens. At that time, there were limited curriculums available that were specifically tailored for this age group, and research indicates a definite need for targeting the preadolescent or tween population. Behaviors developed at this stage of development likely persist into adulthood. KidQuest has evolved with direction and input from a transdisciplinary team of SDSU Extension and faculty, as well as input from school teachers who have used KidQuest. Local South Dakota schools have been very supportive, with over 40 South Dakota schools receiving KidQuest from SDSU Extension since its beginning. The University of Nebraska at Lincoln has been using KidQuest for the last 1 to 2 years and plans to expand that program in 2013. The types of activities involved in KidQuest are especially suited for that 5th to 6th grade youth. Experts in the field of child development and education have concluded that some of the KidQuest group activities and homework options may be too complex for youth below the 5th grade. Therefore, it is recommended that KidQuest only be used for 5th to 6th grade youth when providing a nutrition and physical activity educational program. While KidQuest has been primarily used during the school day, the lessons could also be utilized in an after-school setting as well. The KidQuest Leaders Guide is the primary tool that KidQuest Leaders will utilize to deliver the KidQuest lessons. Each of the nutrition lessons include a hands-on activity, and activity supplement types of handouts are also included to foster the particular activities. A unique option that will be discussed in further detail later in this video are the Healthy Homework Options worksheets. These worksheets correspond to each of the 8 nutrition lessons and can be used by classroom teachers as part of a youth's grade if desired. Each of the Healthy Homework worksheets also contains a parent component designed to engage other family members in the take-home message of each lesson. Previously, the KidQuest curriculum contained a series of take-home quest challenges and then parent newsletters. While these were informative, pilot research from several schools revealed that take-home quest challenges overall did not have a good return rate, and there was a question as to whether parents actually received or even viewed the newsletters on a consistent basis to justify the additional expenses incurred with printing the newsletters. All of the electronic documents are provided on a flash drive for duplication by the KidQuest leader as needed. Ideally, KidQuest is provided in the classroom with 20 to 25 youth in the 5th or 6th grade. This number aligns well with doing the hands-on group activities associated with each of the nutrition lessons. However, smaller numbers can also work. The group size recommendation for the activities of 3 to 4 youth per group is what's recommended. After-school programs may also be a venue for providing KidQuest if the setup of the program allows for those older youth in the 5th and 6th grade to be provided the program separately from younger youth. Each of the 8 nutrition lessons includes a brief instructional slideshow with information about the topic, followed by the hands-on group activities. The nutrition lessons are designed to be approximately 30 minutes in length to fit a wide range of time allotments. Additional lesson time is used to engage youth in fun physical activity lessons called PALs. To maximize the educational benefit and encourage behavior change, it is recommended that the nutrition lessons be provided at least 1 week apart from each other. The concepts and skills in the nutrition lessons build upon each other, so it is recommended that each of the core nutrition lessons be provided in order, starting with lesson 1, then lesson 2, and so forth. If there are particular instances where the number of sessions allowed for you to provide KidQuest is less than 8, there are some of the lessons that could be combined if a longer time frame for the lesson is allowed. All of the lessons should be provided for the KidQuest program. There is an appeal, especially from school systems and classroom teachers, to link all classroom time to national education content standards. Dr. Tracy Nelson in the Health and Physical Education Department from SDSU has evaluated KidQuest and has linked all of the lessons to specific content standards. These content standards are listed in the KidQuest Leaders Guide, and copies can be printed from the KidQuest flash drive or downloaded from iGrow.org at the KidQuest site. These can be provided to school administrators and teachers as needed. Each of the nutrition lessons integrates the 2010 Dietary Guidelines for Americans and the MyPlate.gov messages. Your KidQuest Leaders Guide provides detailed information on each of the nutrition lessons. Lesson 1 focuses on the dietary guidelines and MyPlate messages, with you selecting a Create MyPlate activity card and racing against the clock to construct healthy plates that consist of half of the plate as fruits and vegetables, with 1/4 of the plate as grains and 1/4 as proteins, along with a dairy serving. In Lesson 2, information on how to read a food label is presented in the slideshow portion, with an activity to follow of youth working in groups and provided with a set of cards and snack pictures on the front with nutrition label information listed on the back. The youth then, in groups, utilize these cards to complete a snack stacker challenge worksheet to determine if the snack is a whoa or go snack. Lesson 3 and 4 have been extremely popular lessons among the youth as they get to work in groups and actually see the amount of sugar in beverages with the Think Your Drink activity. In Lesson 4, participants learn all about eating out and making healthy choices and realize firsthand the amount of fat and calories in various menu items when they visit in groups a mock restaurant and calculate the amount of fat in food items and then demonstrate that amount visually with butter or butter food models. Lesson 5 focuses on eating a variety of fruits and veggies from all of the 5 main color groups of fruits and vegetables. After learning about these color groups, participants gather to play fruit and veggie ball toss. During this activity, music is played while participants hand or toss the ball to each other. When the music is stopped by the KidQuest leader, the youth participant picks a fruit and veggie card and is asked a question. In Lesson 6, everyone is engaged in a game show type of format with teams formed to play a bone-breaking Jeopardy game, focused on learning about the importance of adequate calcium intake. Lesson 7 provides youth with nutrition education on the benefits of breakfast and the recommendation for choosing grains from whole grain sources. Participants work in teams to complete a worksheet that has them looking at actual food models of various grain-related products. And lastly, in Lesson 8, youth are introduced to media influences and advertising styles and put their creative skills to practice as they work with a group and design a healthy cereal box designed to sell for their age group. The KidQuest Leaders Guide provides a lesson outline to summarize the overall flow of each lesson. Activity outcomes are also listed for each lesson, along with a detailed list of materials and items to get ready. Because each of the lessons starts with a slideshow, it will be important to establish use of a computer and projector for your KidQuest class. In most instances, Extension staff have asked to use an existing classroom's computer and projector, and this has worked well, as it seems most schools are equipped with that type of equipment. In some instances, if funding is available to support it, a large flip chart of the slides could potentially be developed. However, these are typically very costly, so every effort to utilize electronic devices is desired. And use via this method also allows for optimizing a good viewing experience of the information, especially if the classroom size of participants is large. Please do not skip the slideshow portion of the educational lessons and go right to the activity portion. The slideshow information should always be presented before the hands-on activity portion of the lessons. SDSU Extension has also developed a video for each nutrition lesson, which provide a further demonstration on how each of the nutrition lessons are conducted. The link to this video will be provided at the iGrow.org KidQuest website. Available for reproduction in the KidQuest Leaders Kit contents are color master copies of materials that need to be utilized for specific activities. Recommended instructions for duplication, for instance, if they are recommended to be printed on cardstock, front to back, etc., are provided in the Leader's Guide. An electronic copy of each of the activity supplements is also provided on the KidQuest flash drive. All of the guesswork is taken out of what to say and do for the KidQuest lessons with guided directions for each of the slides. While you may not say everything word for word, it is important to stick with the content listed for each slide as much as possible to ensure that the necessary topics are covered and to protect the integrity of the KidQuest program. After the nutrition lesson, and as time allows, you're recommended as a KidQuest leader to engage the youth in one or more of the physical activity lessons listed in the KidQuest Leaders Guide. Each of the activities require very little space, and the movements are simple and designed for fun, exposing youth to ways they can be more physically active. A discussion with the classroom teacher and the KidQuest leader prior to initiating the first KidQuest lesson should occur regarding the potential use of the Healthy Homework option worksheets. These are an optional portion of the program. These worksheets allow for enhanced learning beyond the classroom and are highly encouraged but may not be feasible in all cases and are therefore optional. Classroom teachers may wish to utilize the Healthy Homework as part of their lesson and grading structure. If the classroom teacher would like to use the Healthy Homework, be sure to communicate the following: who will copy and distribute the homework, the due dates for the homework, and who will collect and then grade the homework. A complete answer key and grading rubric is included in the KidQuest Leaders Guide. Each of the Healthy Homework options expand on the nutrition lessons provided and are 2 pages in length, with the first page consisting of list or multiple choice types of questions, followed by a home or parent component asking the student to review types of things with their parent at home to complete that particular portion of the activity. Also included with each Healthy Homework worksheet is an optional bonus activity that lists an internet link with instructions of what to accomplish using that link to receive those bonus points. Tracking success of your KidQuest program can be aided by administering the pre and post survey provided in the KidQuest Leaders Guide. Prior to providing the KidQuest program and administering the survey, it is recommended that copies of a consent form be provided to the classroom teacher to distribute to the students who take part in this. It's also a good way to inform parents about the program and what's going on in the classroom with KidQuest. There's also an administrator consent in the Leaders Guide, and this is also optional, but it may be a required tool for some schools. It can also be a helpful way to communicate what KidQuest is about, especially if you're providing a nutrition program in KidQuest for the first time in that school. The actual youth survey should only take the youth around 20 minutes to complete and can be reproduced on one sheet of paper printed front to back. The 20 questions on the survey include demographic information as well as measures from the 4th through 7th grade healthy living items and questions from the FNEP National Youth Surveys. Also included is a teacher survey in the Leaders Guide that you may or may not use after the program is completed. Historically, a parent survey was included in the KidQuest curriculum as well. Parent surveys can be very difficult to retrieve in a timely manner to have enough of them to really gather any type of suggestive information on whether your intervention was successful or not. So for that reason, and after careful consideration, they were not included in the KidQuest program available for use from 2013 and forward. The slide shown here provides just a sneak peek at some of the research that has been done with KidQuest over the past 6 years. Some KidQuest-related research projects are still being evaluated. Please contact SDSU Extension for additional information if desired. Actual numbers and statistics with research is great. It's definitely a needed outcome for many organizations to look at, but some of the best outcomes are the ones we hear about from the recipients. As shown in this slide, we had a 5th grade KidQuest teacher respond that my students look forward to the KidQuest team coming into our classroom. They were interested and engaged in all areas of lessons. And one of my favorite quotes from a 5th grade parent is, "We went out to eat recently and my son told me all about the fat in some of the items and said we should pick something healthier." Several extension staff have used KidQuest and find it very easy to use. The quote on this slide is from one of our FNEP and FMP nutrition assistants with SDSU Extension. Even though the KidQuest Leaders Guide provides detailed instructions and a guided script, individuals with limited nutrition and label reading knowledge are encouraged to do a little homework before providing the KidQuest program. The free online training modules listed on this slide are excellent resources to prepare a KidQuest leader and enhance the overall success of the program. These training modules are found on the California After School website listed on the slide. Of particular recommendation, preparing for KidQuest would be the Foundations of Nutrition, Dietary Guidelines for American module, as well as the How to Read a Food Label, MyPlate, and Physical Activity Ability Awareness modules. The next few slides in this video tutorial will provide additional information to ensure success of the KidQuest program with a few tips on classroom management. Adequately preparing and getting organized before giving a lesson to the 5th and 6th grade youth you are working with is one of the main keys to a successful lesson. Checking to make sure any needed equipment is established, as well as reviewing all of the lesson content ahead of time, is a very important first step. Getting organized is the best way to maximize learning for the whole group of children you're working with. This will really help you utilize the time slot that you're allotted, and sometimes you don't have much time to implement your curriculum. Organization will help pace the lesson and increase the learning potential for the youth. Some key points to consider and remember are to refocus the class. A lot of the activities in the curriculum are very fun and engaging, so it's easy to get sidetracked and veer away from the rest of the lesson. As the KidQuest leader, it's your job to refocus the class and make sure the lesson continues on and meets the goals of that lesson. Be sure to continually stop and evaluate how the lesson is going with the group you are working with. Increasing the effectiveness of lesson instruction can be optimized by focusing on the real purpose of the lesson. When you're planning and organizing prior to the lesson, really think about the purpose of the lesson and why it is important they learn the information you're presenting. Ask yourself the following questions. Is instruction part of the lesson? Specific to KidQuest, this should be yes for each lesson. Is demonstration part of the lesson? And with KidQuest, again, that is likely the case for each lesson. Do you need to practice? Yes, you always need to practice. And how does the lesson integrate with past and future instruction? It's very beneficial to reiterate past lessons to enhance learning. With the KidQuest curriculum, this is done for you as the lessons build upon each other. And then also ask, are the lessons planned to assure skill instruction and practice occur throughout the unit? Really think about what needs to be done before implementing each lesson to make yourself feel more organized. When managing a classroom full of 5th and 6th grade youth, you can really be presented with a challenge at times. The most important thing to remember is consistency. Make sure the group you're working with understands your classroom rules immediately, and be sure you stick to these rules throughout your time with them. Right when you enter the classroom or meet with a new group, be sure the rules are clearly stated so the children know what is expected of them. Some of you may be working in classrooms with other teachers and professionals, so make sure you are also aware of the classroom rules and management that they go by. Students must always know that the adult is in control for the time frame you are working with them. This makes the decisions for the group and lesson flow more easily. Also, they must know that you are there to help build their knowledge and encourage them to make healthy lifestyle changes. Lastly, make sure that you do take classroom management seriously, because it is very easy for these things to get out of control. But don't take yourself too seriously. Don't be afraid to have some fun with the 5th and 6th graders in a safe learning environment that is managed and organized. To maintain a productive class environment, it is important to create a safe environment. Not only physically safe, but also make sure you're encouraging a safe learning environment so children feel comfortable asking questions. And when they're in that environment, they feel free to learn about different things. When doing the lesson activities in particular, scan the crowd of students. Do what we call the lifeguard scan. See what the groups are doing during the lesson, if they're paying attention, who's getting sidetracked, who's working really hard, what groups maybe need a little boost during the lesson or some assistance. Be sure to also minimize your talking time and maximize your activity time. Make sure they have time to really engage in those KidQuest lessons. Some of the lessons do have instructions for the lesson, but make sure that there's also enough time for individual and group hands-on learning. It can be easy to veer away from the objectives and goals of the lesson during some of these fun activities. Make sure that you maintain the instructional focus. Another important topic to discuss about classroom management is, of course, behavior issues and punishments. I'm sure in some form or another you'll have to deal with this issue. The first thing to remember is to use punishment in a corrective way designed to help the students improve both now and when working with them in the future. Do not use punishment to retaliate or make yourself feel better if the circumstance is getting out of control. As we discussed before, if you are in a classroom setting, be sure you are very aware of any school or teacher rules and policies in regards to punishment and classroom management. It can be helpful to acknowledge students who might be creating problems and see if you can draw them aside and eliminate the problem by talking to them about it or redirecting them to a different part of the activity. It's important, though, to choose your battles wisely. Sometimes with 5th and 6th graders in particular, they may challenge each other in their group activities, but sometimes that only lasts for a couple of seconds and they can get on with the rest of the activity. When disciplining, it's important to encourage children to think for themselves, solve their own problems, and all of these actually can create their own opportunities for growth. Keeping interest and attention is not hard with KidQuest because of the interactive hands-on activities that go with each nutrition lesson. However, keep in mind that children do learn differently. Some students learn better through hands-on, whereas others are real visual learners or verbal learners. Keep this in mind when implementing lessons. Show your own interest in the content material you are presenting. Think about a time where you were at a presentation where the presenter wasn't engaged. Did you really enjoy that time during the presentation? Children will be more engaged if the educator is engaged. Physical activity and nutrition education can be a lot of fun, so work to get the class excited. This content is something that will foster the development of a healthy lifestyle for the children. Connect material and information or activity ideas of interest to the students. Although nutrition and physical activity is important for disease prevention, it may not be something 5th and 6th graders are real concerned about. Relate the activities to possibly their academic achievement and how eating healthfully can help them with academics or even their sports performance. Challenge the students by channeling into their interests to help accomplish the goals of the lesson. And have fun. Make sure that you have fun and enjoy your time that you spend with the youth. Children can be a lot of fun, and teaching physical activity and nutrition can add to that fun. SDSU Extension has developed an overview of KidQuest that can be used to explain more about the program and can be used as a recruiting tool. This brochure can be downloaded from the KidQuest page located at the iGrow.org website under KidQuest. The KidQuest Leaders Guide and supplemental materials are also available for download on the SDSU Extension website at iGrow.org. Specific questions regarding KidQuest can be directed to either of the individuals listed on this slide. Thank you for your time and attention spent learning more about how KidQuest works with this training video. Be sure to also check out the KidQuest nutrition lesson videos, which each provide a demonstration on how each of the nutrition lessons content and lesson activities are provided. These videos can also be found at the KidQuest iGrow.org website.